You can only go 300 though for the whole month.
What you mean 300?
$300 for the whole month.
That's how much you can spend.
For the whole month.
Damn.
Get that part.
For the whole month.
The whole month.
So that's like what? $30 no, that ain't $30.
So the mashed
$10 a
potatoes
day.
is like $2.50 each. So I got like 30 of them. So just off that's like $65.
Damn.
Exactly. So then then you want to add all the other stuff. So usually I ain't have I just maxed out and didn't get everything.
Sub then. Give me the subs, man. I gotta pay Soldier Boy child support because he going broke. So his baby mama needs some money. I'm gonna get baby some new shoes because Soldier ain't got it. Clearly, you feel me? So let's sub up so we can get her little 100K. Whatever she want. The pussy wasn't that good, but fuck it. Soldier needed, she needed. Let's get it.
Nobody blinked, nobody breathed. Because this is one of those moments where the internet stops scrolling, leans forward, and says, wait, she said what? ChriseanRock didn't just spark drama this time. She allegedly tossed gasoline, lit a match, and then live-streamed the explosion while the world watched in disbelief. According to her latest claims, Blueface isn't just drowning in his own chaos anymore. No. He's now allegedly owing money to Soulja Boy's baby mama, and somehow Chrisean decided she was the one to air it out like a leaked group chat at 3 a.m. This isn't regular celebrity mess. This is crossover episode insanity. It's like Maury met love and hip-hop, collided with a Twitch stream, and then got executive produced by Twitter Spaces. The kind of chaos that makes the Kardashians look like they're running a meditation retreat. One sentence, one accusation, and suddenly 3 different fan bases are screaming. Investigators are pretending to be accountants, and the memes are writing themselves faster than apologies never will. Because here's the real question nobody can answer yet. Why would Chrisean say this? Why now? And if this claim has even a molecule of truth, what else is sitting in the vault waiting to blow? Stay right here. Because once this door opened, there was no closing it. This didn't start like a normal rumor. It didn't creep in quietly. It didn't arrive wrapped in sources say or anonymous whispers. This thing kicked the door in wearing combat boots. Because ChriseanRock doesn't leak information, she detonates it. 1 minute the internet was arguing about yesterday's mess, and the next minute Chrisean casually dropped a claim so reckless, so left field, that people had to reread it twice just to make sure their brains were still working. Blueface allegedly owing money to Soulja Boy's baby mama wasn't just unexpected. It sounded like a deleted subplot from a reality show that even the producers said was too messy to air. To understand why this hit the way it did, you have to understand the players. ChriseanRock exists in a category of her own. She's not polished, not filtered, and definitely not managed by a PR team that values peace. She speaks like someone who knows secrets and doesn't care who gets uncomfortable when they come out. That's why every sentence she drops feels less like commentary and more like a warning label. People don't listen to Chrisean because she's calm. They listen because she's reckless with the truth. Blueface, on the other hand, is already living inside a permanent PR emergency. His public image isn't fragile. It's already shattered into pieces, glued back together by live streams, viral clips, and a fanbase that's half entertained and half exhausted. So when Chrisean attached his name to a financial claim involving another celebrity's baby mama, it wasn't shocking because it was impossible. It was shocking because it sounded exactly like the kind of chaos that follows him. Then there's Soulja Boy. Just hearing his name added to the mix instantly raised the temperature. Soulja isn't just a rapper. He's an internet accelerant. Any situation involving money, respect, or perceived betrayal becomes a full-scale event the moment his name trends. And a baby mama being mentioned, that's not background noise. That's front row, center stage, lights on drama. The claim didn't come with receipts. It didn't come with explanations. It came raw, dropped into the public like a grenade with the pin already pulled. And that's what made it terrifyingly effective. The internet doesn't wait for facts anymore. It waits for moments, and this was a moment that felt too specific to be random. Almost immediately, people started asking the same question in different ways. How? Why? When? What connection could possibly exist between Blueface and Soulja Boy's baby mama that would involve money? Those questions didn't slow the story down. They sped it up. Because when something doesn't make sense, people don't walk away. They dig. Old clips resurfaced. Old photos were dragged back into circulation. Fans replayed interviews frame by frame, listening for slips, pauses, anything that could hint at crossover history. Suddenly, every industry party photo looked suspicious. Every mutual appearance became evidence. This is how internet investigations work. Nobody proves anything, but everyone convinces themselves they're onto something. What made the situation worse or better, depending on how you measure chaos, was Chrisean's refusal to clean it up. No clarifying post. No, that's not what I meant. No follow-up explanation to calm things down. She let the silence stretch, and silence, in situations like this, doesn't read as uncertainty. It reads as confidence. People began splitting into camps. One side said Chrisean was spiraling, throwing accusations out of emotion, saying whatever would hurt the most. The other side said she had no reason to lie about something this specific. They argued that you don't randomly connect Blueface to Soulja Boy's baby mama unless there's some kind of story underneath it. Even skeptics admitted the claim was weirdly detailed for a total fabrication. Blueface's name started trending for reasons that had nothing to do with music again, and every time that happens, his past gets dragged back into the light like a rerun nobody asked for. Financial drama, relationship chaos, public disrespect. Suddenly, this new allegation didn't feel isolated. It felt like another brick stacked onto an already unstable tower. What really escalated things was the timing. The audience was already primed. People were tired of half-truths, live-stream theatrics, and endless relationship mess. So when money entered the conversation, the tone shifted. Money allegations feel heavier. They feel legal. They feel like something that could actually have consequences beyond tweets and memes. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy's silence became its own storyline. The internet is conditioned to expect a reaction from him. He's not known for letting narratives breathe. He usually snatches them by the throat and yells back. So every hour he didn't respond made people more suspicious. Some said lawyers were involved. Others said behind-the-scenes conversations were happening to keep this from blowing up further. The theories multiplied because nobody filled the vacuum. And then came the humor, because the internet copes with chaos by laughing at it. Fake invoices started circulating. Joke captions labeled Blueface as industry debtor. Meme pages ran wild with exaggerated reenactments of imaginary phone calls. On the surface it looked funny, but underneath the jokes was something sharper. People were watching to see who would crack first. Chrisean, watching it all unfold, remained exactly where she always is, unpredictable and unbothered. Her history with Blueface gave her words weight whether people liked it or not. She's been inside that chaos. She's lived the arguments, the money disputes, the public breakdowns. So when she speaks, it doesn't feel like commentary from the outside. It feels like a leak from inside the house. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was narrative warfare. If the claim was false, it was damaging. If it was true, it was explosive. And either way, it forced everyone involved into a corner where silence started to look like guilt and denial started to look like fear. By the end of that first wave, one thing was clear. This wasn't going away quietly. The internet had latched onto it, and once that happens, the story grows legs. Questions turn into assumptions. Assumptions turn into accusations. And accusations don't disappear just because nobody confirms them. This was only the beginning. Because once a claim like this enters the public bloodstream, it mutates. And the next phase wasn't about what Chrisean said. It was about how everyone else reacted, and who was about to lose control of the narrative once the internet decided. This wasn't just noise. The story evolved into something far louder, stranger, and way more unhinged. The chaos didn't slow down. It multiplied. Because when a scandal reaches the phase where memes, reaction videos, and half-serious think pieces all drop at once, that's when it officially escapes anyone's control. Chrisean may have lit the match, but the internet turned it into a wildfire with a fan and a gasoline budget. Reaction videos popped up faster than apologies after a cancellation. Every self-proclaimed body language expert, financial detective. And I knew this would happen commentator suddenly had a theory. Some claimed Blueface had been quietly handling business behind the scenes that finally caught up with him. Others said this was pure deflection, a distraction tactic straight out of the Celebrity Chaos Handbook. Either way, nobody was neutral anymore. Silence was interpreted as strategy. And every post was dissected like it was evidence in court. Blueface's social media activity, or lack of it, became a real-time thriller. A single emoji would have sparked 1,000 theories, but the absence of anything felt louder than a confession. Fans hovered over his accounts like stock traders watching a crash, waiting for one move that would confirm their suspicions. When he did post unrelated content, people accused him of dodging. When he stayed quiet, they said he was hiding. There was no winning once the narrative flipped. Meanwhile, the memes graduated from jokes to full-blown satire. People started framing the situation like a cinematic universe crossover nobody asked for. Captions compared it to Avengers-level chaos, where characters from completely different storylines suddenly share the same screen. Someone joked this scandal had more unexpected alliances than a reality TV finale, and as ridiculous as it sounded, that absurdity kept people hooked, because the more unbelievable it felt, the more they wanted answers. Soulja Boy's name continued trending without a single official word from him, and that was unsettling. This is a man known for responding to less with more, so when he didn't jump online yelling, it made the situation feel heavier. Fans speculated that this wasn't something he could joke his way out of. Others insisted he was waiting for the perfect moment to respond, knowing the internet loves a dramatic entrance. Every minute he stayed silent only added pressure. Public opinion split into extremes. One side argued Chrisean was weaponizing personal knowledge to hurt Blueface publicly, using shock value as her main currency. The other side believed she had no incentive to fabricate something that could backfire legally. They pointed out how specific the claim was, how oddly confident it sounded. The debate wasn't about truth anymore. It was about credibility versus chaos. Celebrities adjacent to the situation began getting dragged in whether they liked it or not. Anyone who had ever collaborated with Blueface or Soulja Boy found their comments sections flooded with questions. People were demanding reactions like it was a press conference. Influencers pretended not to see it, but silence from them also became suspicious. The internet doesn't respect boundaries when a scandal smells fresh. Pop culture comparisons took over. Some said this mess made the biggest reality TV feuds look scripted. Others compared it to old-school rap beefs that started over money and ended with careers shifting overnight. The difference now was speed. This wasn't unfolding over months. It was exploding in hours, powered by screenshots, live stream replays, and pure speculation. Then came the think piece era. Long threads dissected the power dynamics between public relationships and financial transparency. People argued about whether celebrities owe the public explanations when money claims surface. Others flipped it and said this was exactly why personal finances should stay private. The irony. Every post meant to calm the conversation only fed it more oxygen. Chrisean single quotes S name trended alongside words like truth, mess, and exposure, which perfectly summarized the confusion. She didn't confirm anything further. She didn't deny it either. That ambiguity kept her at the center, without lifting a finger. It was the digital equivalent of dropping a bomb and walking away in slow motion. Blueface. Supporters started pushing counter-narratives, claiming this was just another attempt to control his image through chaos. They highlighted his history of ignoring rumors until they burn out. But this time felt different. Money allegations don't burn out easily. They linger, they invite scrutiny, and they stick in people's minds even after the timeline moves on. As outrage peaked, the situation crossed into mainstream commentary. News blogs framed it carefully, using words like allegedly and claims. But even cautious coverage legitimized the conversation. Once something hits that level, it's no longer just internet gossip. It becomes part of the public record. Even if no facts are confirmed that the pressure cooker effect was real, something had to give. Either someone would speak up, deny everything, or escalate it further. Because scandals like this don't end quietly. They end with a twist, a breakdown, or a shocking response nobody predicts. And as the noise reached its lattice point, one truth became unavoidable. This wasn't just about money. It was about power, control, and who gets to shape the story when everything is on fire. The internet had chosen its entertainment for the week, and it wasn't letting go. What everyone didn't realize yet was that the aftermath was about to hit harder than the allegation itself. Because once narratives lock in, even the truth struggles to escape them. And the next chapter wasn't about reaction anymore. It was about consequences. When the noise finally reached a fever pitch, something shifted, not online, but underneath it all, because there's a moment in every viral scandal where the jokes stop landing the same. The memes slow down, and people start asking a quieter, but far more dangerous question. Okay, but what happens now? That's when chaos turns into consequence. And this situation crossed that line fast by this point. The claim had hardened into a narrative whether anyone liked it or not. That's the ugly truth of internet culture. Once enough people repeat a story, it stops being treated like speculation and starts feeling like background knowledge. Blueface didn't need to confirm anything for damage to happen. The allegation alone had already done its job. His name was now permanently attached to a financial rumor that refused to die. And reputations don't get refunds, brands don't. Like mess, labels don't like uncertainty, and money conversations, especially ones involving baby mamas and unpaid obligations, are radioactive in the public eye. Even without proof, the optics were brutal. Every partnership he touched suddenly looked risky. Every appearance felt like it came with a question mark. That's how fast perception becomes punishment. Chrisean, meanwhile, watched the aftermath from a distance that looked suspiciously calm. People expected her to spiral or double down. Instead, she let the story live its own life. That silence wasn't accidental. It was strategic, whether consciously or not. She understands something most people don't. Once you've said enough, to start the fire, saying less keeps it burning longer. The relationship narrative between her and Blueface also took another hit. Not because this was shocking, but because it confirmed what many already believed, that their dynamic isn't just emotional chaos. It's financial chaos too. Viewers started reframing old arguments, old blow-ups, old public meltdowns through a new lens. Suddenly people weren't just asking who hurt who, they were asking who owed who. Soulja Boy's continued quiet presence in this situation became almost mythic. Fans stopped joking and started wondering if legal conversations were happening behind closed doors. Because silence at this stage doesn't feel passive, it feels deliberate, and that made the situation feel heavier than a typical social media spat. People sensed that something real might be sitting beneath the theatrics. Public sympathy began to fracture. Some viewers turned on Chrisean, accusing her of crossing a line that shouldn't be crossed publicly. Others defended her, saying she has every right to speak her truth after years of being dragged through public humiliation. The debate wasn't just about facts. It was about loyalty, gender dynamics, and who society allows to be messy without consequences. Blueface's supporters tried to recenter the conversation, pushing narratives about growth, distractions, and exaggerated claims. But once a scandal hits this stage, cleanup is almost impossible. You can't unring a bell. You can only hope the noise eventually fades. And this bell rang loud. What made the aftermath especially dangerous was how sticky it felt, even as new topics trended. This one lingered in comments, replies, and side jokes. People referenced it casually, like it was already established lore. That's how reputations erode, not in one explosion, but in 1,000 offhand remarks. Chrisean's role in all this became even more complicated. Some saw her as reckless. Others saw her as raw honesty in a culture obsessed with fake polish. Either way, she remained at the center of the storm without trying to reclaim the narrative. That alone kept her relevant, and relevance in this world is currency. As days passed, the lack of a clear resolution became the resolution. No receipts dropped, no official denials landed hard enough to reset the story. The scandal didn't explode into a courtroom drama, but it didn't disappear either. It settled into something quieter and more damaging. A cloud, a rumor, a question that follows you into every new headline. And that's the real twist. The internet always wants a climax. But sometimes the most brutal outcome is ambiguity, because ambiguity doesn't end stories. It extends them. It leaves space for future leaks, future arguments, future moments when someone says, "Remember when?" This situation reshaped how people looked at everyone involved. Chrisean became even more unpredictable, more dangerous to underestimate. Blueface looked more vulnerable to narratives he couldn't control. And Soulja Boy's orbit proved once again that even silence can dominate a conversation. By the end, one thing was undeniable. This wasn't a random outburst. It was a moment that rewired public perception, whether the claim was true, false, or somewhere in between. And once perception changes, reality has to catch up or get left behind. The internet moved on, as it always does, but not without leaving scars, because in celebrity culture, today's chaos is tomorrow's context, and the next time any of these names trend, this story will be waiting, ready to resurface. And this right here is why you never blink in celebrity culture. Because while you're busy scrolling past yesterday's drama, today's scandal is already loading in for thousands with surround sound. If this situation proved anything, it's that chaos doesn't knock anymore. It kicks the door in, flips the couch, and sits down like it pays rent. No, I want to hear from you. Do you think chriseanrock exposed something real? Or was this the wildest verbal grenade of the year? Is Blueface caught in a mess he can't talk his way out of? Or is the internet doing what it does best, turning smoke into a 5-alarm fire? And what about Soulja Boy's silence? Is that confidence? Legal advice, or the calm before a legendary meltdown? Drop your takes in the comments, because the comment section is where the real fights happen. And don't tap that like button gently. Smash it like it owes you money. Owes you money. Punch it like it just leaked a group chat. Because every like tells the algorithm you want more unfiltered chaos, more celebrity insanity, and zero watered down narratives. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now, because scandals don't come with warnings and we don't miss a single one. Turn on notifications too, because stories like this don't end, they evolve. Today it's claims, tomorrow it's reactions. Next week it's accidental live streams and deleted posts that explain everything and nothing at the same time. This is the home of non-stop drama, reckless revelations, and celebrity mess served. Hot and unapologetic, no PR spin, no fake apologies, just pure, uncut madness. Welcome to Celeb Insanity, where the chaos never sleeps, the tea never cools, and the next scandal is already loading.